The following program is an Animal House radio production. And throughout the show.
Let's start with our topic. Okay. Barking.
Barking. So tell me, why is barking the issue? What's up with barking?
Well, first of all, we all know it's a normal canine behavior. It's their source of communication. But it's funny enough that 35% of dog owners say that excessive barking is their most common behavior problem they see in their dog. So 35% of people think that barking is a true problem. So, and it's actually the number one cause of why people take animals to shelters is because they're barking too much. So that's kind of neat.
Really?
Yeah. And why do they bark so much? Sometimes it's a genetic issue. I don't know if you knew this, but a lot of the terrier breeds, and I think a lot of people know this, a lot of terrier breeds are more prone to being excessive barkers. Little Yorkies and Jack Russell Terriers are naturally big barkers. Did you know about there's a breed that hardly if ever barks at all? Do you know what that breed is? It was in the 24-hour newspaper article that you didn't read that I wrote today. That was in the paper today.
It was the Farrier dog.
No, it's the Basenji.
The Basenji.
Yes, and greyhounds too. Greyhounds don't bark very much, but Basenjis are known to be very quiet dogs.
Let's go to the phone line right now. We have someone who wants to talk to us a little bit about their dog and about barking. Is it Kostitsin?
Yes, it is.
Hi, Kostitsin. What's going on, buddy?
Not much, Aaron and Dr. Mike. How are you?
Great. Yourself?
Not bad, not bad.
Good. Tell us about your barking issues, bud.
Yes, well, the question I have for you actually is that I guess when me and my wife are being intimate, my dog keeps on barking at us.
Well, you know what? Don't laugh, because these things actually happen. We've actually had questions about this before.
Really? I mean, yeah, okay.
Well, cars speed by, things move.
What?
When things are moving, dogs are barking.
Yeah. Well, no, but sometimes, no. I mean, and I think everybody's had this issue. I think sometimes maybe your dog feels like you're being attacked.
No. Really?
No.
I hope not.
There's a lot of people come to me and ask me that question, and they say, "Oh, is my dog jealous?" Well, they haven't proven jealousy, but they're feeling unwanted or needy. And dogs will bark when they're hungry, when they want attention, and so that's when they want attention. Of course, when you're busy with your wife, that's when the dog wants attention, and that's really why I think that the dog is barking.
But what do you do to stop it?
Well, we're going to talk about that later. You try to teach him a command where he can be quiet, and you say that word, and of course he knows that if he does what that word says, and that is being quiet, he will get a reward. And so it gets to the point where you're in that moment, and the dog starts barking, and you can say a word, and boom, doggy will be nice and quiet. So we'll talk about that later. I'll go through that.
Now, Kostitsin, do you live in an apartment or a house?
We live in an apartment.
In an apartment. So is this like literally you guys are waking up the neighbors?
Is it, first of all, is it a little dog or a big dog? Is it a big dog? Is it a big dog or a little dog?
A big dog.
A big dog. So what type of dog? A lab or a Rottweiler or?
A lab, yeah.
A lab. So is it a high-pitched... Do you notice a difference in the way he barks at you then versus how he barks at strangers or anything like that? Is it a high-pitched bark or is it a deep, guttural bark? Or
okay, is it a different bark?
Is it a howl?
is it a different bark when you use different covers?
It was definitely a different bark.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, well, you know what?
I think he's seeking attention. I think he's bothered by the fact that his mom and dad are not paying attention to him. They're paying attention to each other.
I still believe he thinks you guys are hurting each other.
Really?
I think that.
But he's not the vet.
I'm not the vet, but I'm someone with experience in this, and I believe that the dog is jealous and thinks you're hurting each other.
No, that's quite... Maybe he's fonder of my wife than he is of me.
Really?
Is he your dog or her dog?
Probably hers.
Probably hers? Okay. Now, do you guys ever sort of forget the intimate? Are you guys ever just sort of play fighting, and he does the same thing, or no? Like, are you doing any other...
Outside of the bedroom, yes.
Okay. Oh. So I think he's just...
this is Animal House After Hours. I like it. Well, you know what you need to do is you need to get a female dog in there with your dog, and you guys can get angry at the dogs when they're doing the same thing.
Oh, we get to play the opposite roles.
Exactly. Yell at the dogs. The dogs be like, yo, what's up? We're just trying to do our thing. Nature's best. If you can do one thing on the line right now, you're going to win a prize. Okay? Courtesy of PetMate, courtesy of PetMate. I'm going to give you a prize. If you can do, I want you to bark.
Bark like your dog.
Bark like your dog. Bark exactly like your dog does when you and your wife are, playing Monopoly.
When we're playing Monopoly, eh?
Yes.
Yeah. So you want me to yell bark boardwalk?
You can bark whatever you want. Just you got to bark and you'll win.
Wow, that was a Chihuahua in lab clothing.
Oh, my goodness. You must be really, really hurting your wife. Wow. We're going to put you on hold, and congratulations. You've just won something, Gestinson.
Thanks so much for coming on the show.
Thanks for calling the show. That's interesting. You know, it's interesting how you do stuff like that, and it's interesting because we've had questions about this before. We've had emails, and you've been scared to tackle it. Obviously, the general public wants to know what to do when you're getting intimate and your animal's there. Because I think we have all had these issues. Is it going to traumatize your pet? Well, you know, if you're Moo the whale, like Homer Simpson when he dressed up and he got, I think that's going to traumatize your pet.
Well, one of the things that we'll be talking about is one of the solutions is take the dog away from the stimulus. So just no doggy in the room. You wouldn't let your child in the room? Don't let the dog in the room. That's how I see it. This way the dog won't bark. Right? I mean, he doesn't see what he doesn't see. He's not going to be worried about it.
Well, I kind of agree. We're going to go, once again, the phone lines are jam-packed right now, but we're going to go talk to our favorite person at Toronto Animal Services because we know that she's had the same exact issues happen to her while in the bedroom. Yeah, she's on right now. Nicola!
Oh, if you could only slap him through the phone.
From Toronto Animal Services. Once again, 416-338-PAUSE or www.toronto.com/animal services. Now, what do you do when you're in the bedroom and these issues are happening with your animal, Nicola?
Okay, this is not Dr. Ruth. This is the wrong show.
Hey, it's Dr. Mike. He does it all.
It's Dr. Mike. Well, I generally have a policy that during those moments, as Mike says, the animals must be elsewhere.
No pets in the room, right?
But aren't we all?
No pets. Same thing.
When we're in that room, we're all animals.
Okay.
Ow!
Oh, too much information.
Hey, pun is intended.
Okay. There you go.
Nicola, how you been? How's your week?
So far, so good.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Yeah, got a couple of days off, and
excellent.
It's been working very hard, of course.
Now, I don't know if you heard me earlier, but we were talking about this news story, and I had said we're going to have to talk to you about what some of the barking laws are in Toronto. I'm sure you guys get complaints about barking. What is your role in going to the home? When do you have to go to the home? What kind of things do you have to enforce? Tell us a little bit about barking laws in Toronto.
Bart, there's actually not a specific barking law. It's included in the noise bylaw.
So this is a police thing, not a shelter thing?
It's just in the bylaw under Section 591 noise. So whether it be your neighbor's stereo or construction at 5 in the morning or a dog barking at any point during the 24-hour day, it does substantiate a complaint. So if somebody says it's noon, it's 3 in the morning, it's 2 in the afternoon, if it is a complaint lodged, we will go and speak with the dog owner. And a lot of times, and this is a very salient point, people are dual income. They are both at work, and, Fido's home for the day. They don't know that Fido is barking his little head off for, 3 hours straight.
Sure.
So sometimes we're the first people to bring to their attention that there is an issue. There is a behavioral problem here that needs to be addressed. And
you know what? Before you continue, there's a problem that I need to address right now. I got to get this off my chest.
I can't do anything about Mike not talking or not being quiet.
Exactly.
Or Aaron, I should say.
Yeah, exactly. Make fun of me. That's okay. Don't worry. I'm the Jewish version of Antonio Banderas. I am the Jewish version of Antonio Banderas, Nicola. Let me tell you, okay? He's got nothing on me. Even though he does the voiceover in those beat commercials, he's got nothing on me. Let me tell you something, okay? I am sick to my stomach when I heard about this drunk driver going in the middle of a GO train, getting his car blown up, drunk that he gets out of the car and forgets that his dog is in the car. The dog, disgustingly burns to death in the car, and this 18-year-old kid who's drunk off his whatever gets to walk away kind of scot-free and just, may serve a little time or pay a little fine. But you know what? His dog died because of his ignorance. You know what? I just got to get out there. Disgusting.
Yeah,
well, I haven't heard the 6 o'clock news, but last I heard that there were possibly animal cruelty charges pending. Now, I don't know whether that would be through the police or through PCA or affiliates, but that's the last I've heard. It's disgusting either way. It's despicable. Right. And I certainly on a personal level, I certainly can't speak for animal services, but on a personal level, feel he should be held to account for his neglect.
Of course he should be held for account, but how at the end of the day, the fact remains that he's going to plead out and say, listen, I was, under the influence, and therefore I can't be held to the same standard as anybody else, and that's going to be the defense regardless. Get away with this. But, people, if you're drunk, why, A, it's 6 in the morning, how drunk are you that you have to do that? And B, come on. Anyways.